welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in. On my channel today, I have a very important guest. My dear guest, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bridget. Happy to be here.
So, Bridget, I'm so happy to have you on my channel.
Thank you.
On this channel, we believe that being limitless, there's no boundaries to what we can do, and that is why we call it the Limitless Life with Joy. So, I hope you believe in the same.
Yes, definitely. That's why I'm here.
Oh.
So happy to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. So, Bridget, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I would like for us to talk about relationships. Not mainly boy-girl relationships, but all relationships with friends, family, work colleagues, because we all have relationships. It's like a day-to-day, it's normal, it's part of life. And in order for someone to have a limitless life, you need to know how to handle, this day-to-day, daily kind of relationships you deal with on a daily basis.
Yes. Bridget, what about relationships?
What I would like to talk about is what we learn from relationships, not being. So I'd like for us to, talk about the experiences, be it good or bad.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Bridget, have you been in a relationship before?
Yes, I have.
You
With
mind?
my friends, with my spouse. Yes. Everyone has,
So you
I'm
in
sure.
a number of relationships. You have relationships with your siblings, with your
Yes.
parents, with your
Yes.
colleagues,
Yes.
with your friends.
Yes.
And have you been in a toxic relationship before?
Yes.
Not
God,
necessarily a boyfriend-girlfriend kind of situation, but a toxic relationship, whether it's say with sisters or with parents. Or,
Yes.
how is somebody supposed to know that a relationship that they're in is toxic? How do you identify that? Because it's very easy for somebody to actually ride on without knowing that there's a problem somewhere. So at what point should somebody stop and realize that that relationship is not perfect?
For me, in my experience, I think it would be how someone makes you feel. Most of the time, it's the little things, it's the small things they do, which they continue to do, and it becomes a bigger thing. Yeah? It builds. Like maybe you're in an abusive relationship with let's say it's a boy-girl relationship, and this man treats you a certain kind of way. Maybe he calls you names. It begins slowly, but it keeps growing because you let it happen.
Yeah.
So how someone makes you feel is also a very big, like a tick in your mind. You say, hey, if this person makes me feel like this, let's say in such an early stage of this relationship, or even if it's a later stage, it's definitely going to get worse. So what can I do about it? Do I leave? Do I talk to them about it? How do I, secure my sanity as a person so that I don't have to, the world, life is hard already.
Yes.
Now having to allow more, toxic and all this to come in that way is also not good, which most of the time leads to depression. And most people go through it without even knowing. So how someone makes you feel, I think, is key in knowing if it's either toxic or not toxic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe to add on that, I don't, you could also consider how somebody makes you feel, but then how you also feel.
Yes.
And of course, how you feel from within you, without this, how that person makes you feel, but then how you also feel. Because you know how they say, if you know, you know. Many times people actually know that something is wrong, something is amiss. You know how they say there's the sixth sense. So I feel like you always have that gut feeling that will tell you that this is not the right thing for you. But many times we remain blind and deaf, and we choose to stay even when we know that we don't feel, from deep within us, we do not feel happy in the situation, and also that person does not make us feel the way we would love to be treated. And I feel like people many times ignore that. But if you know, if you find yourself questioning that, should I really be here? Is this the right person for me? All those questions, many times those are red flags.
Yeah, definitely.
So Bridget, from all those relationships that you have had, what are some of the lessons that you have learned?
some of the lessons that I've learned is to speak about it. If I'm not happy, maybe this person has done something or said something and it's a bit offensive, I like to tell them, you know what, I don't like that. I don't like what you just said. I don't like what you just did. Most of the time, if you keep quiet about it, they'll think, maybe it's fine. Or maybe this person, I can keep doing it. But when you talk about it, it's up to them to either not do it again, change, or handle it in a different way. But speaking about it even makes you feel lighter, makes you feel better.
Yes, absolutely.
It also makes the other person, question themselves and say, it even prevents them from treating other people the same way.
One of the things that I really, really learned from that relationship was to value myself. I need to love myself first. Many times people get into relationships and get so absorbed that they even forget about themselves.
True.
You value this person more than you value yourself. You value this person more than you value your family. You value this person more than anything. They should have loved myself more.
Yeah.
And if I loved myself, then I wouldn't have allowed myself to be in that kind of a situation or relationship. So since then, the most radical kind of love is self-love. You cannot love others before you love yourself.
Yes. It's like what Oprah likes to say, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
That's right.
Once your cup is full, if it's overflowing, your relationship with other people will improve, mental health will improve, your outlook in life will improve, your attitude improves, everything about you improves because your cup is full, and once it's empty, there's nothing you can pour into other people's life. When it's full, that's better.
Okay, and then there's something else that has come to mind, is the fact that people compromise a lot. Yes, compromise is very important in any relationship. At some point, you'll always have to compromise, but see what you can compromise and what you cannot. I was earlier telling you about the situation with there's a medical worker who was recently cut into pieces by her husband. That is very, very sad. Very, very sad. Yeah. I'm sure that was not the first time something like that was happening. No. I'm sure he could have been an abusive partner all along. Yeah. But you kept, the lady kept staying there. You're compromising. You're like, oh, maybe he's going to change. Things like violence, I think, hardly change. Once a violent person.
Actually, now that you bring her up, she was, I heard she was the sole provider for her family. Wow. The gentleman was a teacher, and due to COVID, he wasn't working. Wow. So she was providing, and he wanted to sell the piece of land where they were living, the house. He wanted to sell it off. I don't know for what. His first, and they've always had, like domestic violence cases. But she wouldn't leave. The law was involved, FIDA was involved, the LC, local people, police.
Before that day.
Before that, and I don't know why she couldn't leave. Sometimes it comes down to how we are socialized.
Yes,
like straight from home. Yes. We are taught that when you're married, you cannot leave. Yes. Which is bad. It leads to death, like in the case.
Yeah, no, she has died. She has left 3 little children. Yes. They're still very young. Wow.
It's really sad.
So I think it's very important that we watch out for what we compromise on and what we can't compromise on. Otherwise,
choose yourself.
You need to choose yourself most importantly.
Yeah. Subscribe to Joy's channel.
Yes.
And keep learning. She's a very, vibrant person. As you can see, she's brilliant. She has a lot of, so much wisdom to pour out there. So watch all her channels, subscribe, like, share with others, comment, and all those good things. Yes, and tell us the kind of relationship you've been in, what you think, and she will be able to respond and comment. Yeah.
So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and until next time, bye. Take care.